guys, Rabbit Winter here. So recently I've made a list of resources for creating a custom voice follower. These are mainly tutorials. And so I decided to go ahead and make my own tutorial on a subject I really haven't noticed been talked about too much. Um, Mainly on the resource document I made, you'll see the majority of them are made by Joseph Russell. I highly recommend before you watch this one, watch his. I will have a link down to his playlist down in the description of this video. But watch his first because I will go over like some stuff that I may forget to explain, or he explains a lot better than me. And he kind of talks about the main mechanics of creating a custom voice follower, and it's good to know those before you get into this tutorial. Basically, this tutorial will talk about the main introduction scene you get. Scene in on this context of what a creation kit scene is, but more of like that initial meeting you get with your custom voice follower. You don't want to automatically go up to a follower and they just give you their help. You want to be able to know them, learn who they are, and be introduced into them. And this tutorial will follow that. Most of the stuff I learned, or most of the stuff I'm going to be talking about in this tutorial, I learned from a tutorial about making a custom voice follower from the Skyrim romance creator. However, I won't be linking to any of her videos as, while I have one of them bookmarked, it is put down as unlisted, and I don't want to accidentally, share her videos if she doesn't want them to be shared. So mainly for this tutorial, we'll be creating a introduction quest for a custom voice follower. This means we need the initial scene or initial meeting where they first meet and you learn who this person is. We need to be able to deny their help, and then whenever we return to them, they'll recognize us and recognize that they've told us they will help us before, and then we'll need to be able to accept that help. By the end of this quest, afterwards, then the follower functions come up. I won't really be talking about those today, as those are, again, go watch the Joseph Russell videos. So the first thing we need is go ahead and open up Creation Kit. So for Creation Kit, I'm going to go ahead and do some starting stuff. Mainly, I'm going to go ahead and create the actor for this and the, the voice type. Again, stuff in Joseph Russell's video. You can find them. Again, watch those first. So I'm going to go ahead and do those real quick, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so now that I've made the actor and all that and the voice type, we're going to go ahead and go down to the bar Creator and then Quest. We're going to right click and click New. So for in this, we're going to go ahead and just name it something easy. Not that. I see if there's any way I can put meeting it that just makes it easier. We're going to go and change priority to 60. We don't want it to run once, and we want to start game enable. The next thing is with the conditions tab. Basically, conditions mean this quest will run as long as whatever is in this box is met. First thing we're going to do is we want to make sure that all of this dialogue is attached to our character. So what we do is we just get its ID, we click on invalid, and then we go to our actor. For this, it's going to be D-test actor. Press OK. OK. And pretty much this means that all the dialogue that is said will be hers. You can do this with every line of dialogue if you want. However, I find that it's much easier to do this. Now, if you have like a scene or a quest where a bunch of people talk, don't do this. Do it with every line dialogue. However, sometimes lines can get missed, and if they're the only person talking, it's either do this way, because if there is a line and it is missed, there is a chance that anytime a player interacts with a item or statue, at least that's where my problems lied when I first did this. Mainly it happened with the statue of Vile and Mara. Whenever a player interacted with them, the game would crash. And that was because not all of the lines were connected to that actor. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and do get quest completed. And then we're going to go ahead and find this quest. And it is not made yet because I have not saved this. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of that press OK, click on it again, and let's do that again. And see, there it is. So basically, get quest completed means that this will only happen if this quest is completed. And that would be where the 1 is. However, we only want this quest to happen if this quest itself is not completed. So we're going to put that at 0. And then we need to go ahead and move up this get its ID to the top. So we go and click these little arrows. It'd be this one until it goes to the top. And press OK. And I'm going to go ahead and save real quick. It's a really good idea to save the creation kit whenever you can, as it does crash a lot. Now that we got that saved, I'm going to go ahead and just reload it in just in case, because I've been having some problems with my sound files. So BRB. Alright, now that we got all that back up, let's go ahead and return to our quest. So next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go to quest stages. Basically, we're going to need 3 different stages. Let's see if I can number these correctly. So with these stages, we're going to just need 3, 0, 10, and 20. With 0, it's going to be we're just meeting the follower for the first time. They offer our help. And from there, we can accept or deny the help. 10 is going to be when we if we deny the help at 0, then we'll go to stage 10. This is so whenever we return to that follower, they will be able to recognize that we talked to them before and that we denied their help. And then 20 will be if we accept their help. And from here, that's when the quest will be completed, and we would move on to the follower quest. So with those, we're going to go ahead and then head over to dialog views. Right-click, new, and we're going to go ahead and start up a new conversation topic. And then I go ahead and click on that. Right-click, create branch. And then we're going to go ahead and click in this gray spot. This will lead us to the topic box. Pretty much this is all the information we need about what the player can say to him. We're going to write down what the player can say in the topic text. For this, I already have a little script written out. If you want like a nice, if you don't know you don't know where to start on formatting a script for this sort of stuff, in my follower resources, I do have a formatting resource of Cash's script when you first meet her. And that's just there so if you need to figure out how to do it exactly, or what's a good way to do it. It's not the end-all be-all. It's just kind of there if you need help. So for this, the first thing the player can say is hello there. So we're going to go ahead and copy and paste that. And then we're going to go and right-click on this info box and click new. And now this will be the dialog box for the NPC. This response text is how they will respond. And then there's also additional things such as idle animations. Say you want while the NPC is saying this, you want them to do a certain animation. There's various ones in here. And I might actually go ahead and show you guys how to figure out which is which in here. It's not the most reliable way, but it works somewhat. But for now, that's just kind of how you set those. Next is emotion type. This is mainly what they'll be feeling. We want our NPC to be happy. She's going to be a happy person. And then value level is pretty much, emotion value is pretty much how happy, how sad, how surprised are they going to be. I don't know if anything less than 50 does anything, so I just set it from 50 to 100. Now we're going to go ahead and, we need to go ahead and put in her dialogue. And once again, just copy and paste and press OK. So now we're going to return to that. And now it's asking down here for the voice type. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to go ahead and create the folder where we'll be putting the voice lines. For that, I'm just going to go ahead and record something real quick. I'm not going to be saving this or not actually keeping this. But once we're done recording, we're going to click save. And while it says those are there, that's just mainly there so we can have a folder created. All of these can be found in the Skyrim folder under data. And then we're going to go down to sound, voice, And see, it already created a folder for us where these voice files will be. So we're going to click on that, and it's going to show us the voice type for this NPC. Click on it. And while these are here, I'm going to go ahead and delete them. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab, not that. I'm going to go ahead and grab the actual voice follower tutorial lines. There we go. Usually I highly recommend, naming these files after what they're saying. It's much easier to keep a track of them that way. As you can see, I didn't do that exactly because she says ah at the beginning. Usually you want that ah. If it even has like a sigh at the beginning, write sigh, because it's so much easier to find. But as you can see, once we press OK, now that those voice lines are in there, once we press OK and we return, they are no longer connected to the voice lines. What we need to do for this is voice file name, copy and paste that, return to the line, and we're going to go ahead and rename it. Copy that, press enter, and see it has renamed it to that. Once we press OK and return, lines will be there. We're going to go ahead and click on it, press from wave, and then generate lip files. And we'll press OK. And when we return, the lip file will be there. And we can actually see it's right there. So now that we have that part over with, we're going to go ahead. Oh, we actually do have one more thing. We don't want this dialogue to happen after the player have met. So while we actually haven't assigned stages yet for the different dialogue, we're going to go ahead and create some conditions. We only want this line of dialogue to happen during stage 0. So I'm going to right click in the conditions box, new. We're going to go over here to condition functions and do get stage. After that, we're going to find our quest, press OK, and we want this to equal to 0. After that, we're going to duplicate that, and then we're going to put this at 10. And this part, it's always tricky for me. It takes a while to get used to. I haven't even gotten used to it all the way. But basically, these different markings mean if it can only happen before or after. For this one, it cannot happen after. So for that, this little, I don't know what it's called, little alligator that looks like it's about to eat tin, that means it will only happen before. If the alligator looks like it's about to eat the quest, it can only happen after. So we're going to go ahead and set that correctly. And now this dialogue will only happen during stage 0. We're going to press OK. Press OK. And I'm going to go ahead and save real quick, just in case. Okay, now we'll return to that. We're going to go ahead and right click into this yellow box here. And we're going to do add topic. For this one, you always need the ID to be different. For that, I just go ahead and copy and paste what the player says. And then I copy and paste it back down here. And then we'll do a bit of sort of like doing what we did last time. Now right here, a quick thing is I copied and pasted this line, and you'll notice there is apostrophe. It's called apostrophe. I swear I'm studying English. But the little line up there, if we just kept it like that, it will appear as a box in the game. And we don't want that. So unfortunately with each and every one of these, you do have to backspace and do it yourself. You can kind of see it's actually more straight than it is whenever we first copied and paste it. That's just a good indicator that it's alright. Next thing we're going to do is press OK. We'll go and click on that again, because we need the voice file type. And we're going to go ahead and get that one in. What was this line? Oh, yes, I will follow you then. So let's go and copy that. And replace the file name. Press OK. Return to it. Now I will say, I'm not going to worry about too much in this tutorial, but each time you add a line, make sure to do the emotion type if it's going to be different, because that definitely changes it. I didn't do that with Cash, so Cash is just neutral the entire game. Do I wish I would have changed it? Yeah. Am I gonna go back and change thousands of lines? Not really. I'm sorry, she's an Argonian. It's hard to tell. But, you know, you want to keep track of this. Definitely with Carrie and Fear, I've been keeping track of this. So, let's go ahead and make that lip file. Press OK. It'll automatically be there. You know, I don't worry about it too much. We're going to press OK. Okay. And I'll worry about the conditions for those and the scripting for those in a second. Right now, I just want to get the main dialogue up there. So let's go and get the new player line. Underscore, copy and paste. We gotta fix the little thing up there. New. And right here, I'm making the line where the player will not accept their help. And, you know, they just kind of say, all right then, whatever, you know, whichever they feel like. And we're going to go ahead and then turn to this, get the voice file. So now that that's out of the way, we're going to go ahead and... So this is basically the topic. Usually if it's a much longer thing, it will be bigger. You know, you kind of don't want this to be just the only introduction for them. You would want it to be longer than this. Doesn't have to be too long, because even Cash is pretty short. But, you know, at least long enough to where the player gets an idea of who they are. However, for now, this is what we're just going to use. Next thing we gotta do is we gotta connect these dialogues together. If the player was if we started the game, the player would say this, and that would be it. There'd be nothing else. It would just return back to this line. We don't want that. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna click over here, see the little hand? We're gonna hold that and bring it down to this one. And then we're gonna do the same over here. Oops. This is definitely something where it just takes experimentation or like learning what you like best, because there are people out there that this can get muddy for them. I personally love this setup. It becomes an absolute nightmare. I have an example of an absolute nightmare out there. I'll see if I can find it to put up on the screen whenever it came to like Carrie's backstory, and it can get messy quick. So you gotta make sure you know which ones you're connecting. If it is too much, though, there's another way to do it. This is under player dialogue. And basically, these are the different, like, branches. So we're going to click on that, and you can see these actually are the different lines of dialogue. And when we click on it, there are the different branches they are. I think you can add link here, and then find the dialogue and do it that way. Some people prefer it that way. Me personally, I just find this easier. So now that we got this taken care of, we're going to go ahead and create the different scripting. So now we need to make sure that these go to 10 and 20. So real quick, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to set these as goodbye. Basically, goodbye means the conversation will end, and you just want that for both of them. Next thing we're going to do is scripting. The script for this one is very easy. Since this is where they say you accept their help, we're going to do get owning quest parentheses dot set stage parentheses 20 and then parentheses close. We're going to go ahead and compile that. And I'm going to go and we want to go to advanced and rename. This is just so it's easier to keep track of the script. I just name it whatever, you know, usually I make a little acronym for all my mods. You can see that with Cash, KTA, Sidekicks, well, Carrie's is Sidekicks of Tamriel, so SOT. It just makes it a lot easier, or even a shortened version of the name. Fear's lines or scripts are all just FIR, which is her name. We're going to press OK. That'll rename the script. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure this compiled correctly, just in case. For that, I'm going to go to Edit Source. And I'm just going to save it. And we can see down here, it said the compiling succeeded. We're going to press OK. And you can actually see it's connected to a script by the little S right there. We're then going to go over to this one. And we're going to do get owning quest, parentheses, dot set stage, parentheses 10, parentheses close. Compile that. Change the name. And there we go. And so pretty much this allows it to where the stage will go to 10. We're going to press OK. Then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to create another conversation. This is where the player has denied their help, and then they return to the NPC to say, no, I still don't want it, or yes, I want your help. For that, I'm just going to name it Convo 2. So now we got Convo 2. We're going to go and create a branch again. I'm just going to name it Convo 2.2. I don't care. Usually you want to be better organized on these, but for this, not right now. And now we're going to go ahead and make what the player will say again. This time it's just simple hey. Create new dialogue. So for this one, I just have a basic, no, you again. That's kind of the showing that, oh, they remember. Press OK. Click on that again. Copy and paste. Press OK. Create add topic. Player kind of says defeatedly, I do need your help. We're going to go ahead and make that the ID and the topic text. And you know what, in fact, I'll go ahead and keep this you're the same so I can kind of show you what I mean by it will be a box. Go ahead and change that. And we're going to go ahead and set this one as goodbye. And we're going to go back to the questing, or to scripting. And, well, like I said, I do this usually afterwards. Let's just go ahead and do this real quick. We're going to continue. We're going to do again the get owning quest, parentheses, dot set stage 20. So now we can see again is that we're returning back to that stage 20 where the player has accepted the follower's help. Compile. Rename. Press OK. Press OK. I'm going to go ahead and scoot that over. And then let's do the final piece. I just realized I don't think I gave her a voice line on that last one, which that's okay. We'll go ahead and fix that in a second. Oops. And for this one, we're not gonna, since the player isn't accepting their help and they're just refusing it again, we're gonna go ahead and just set it as goodbye and no scripting, because that means this will stay at stage 10. Press OK. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and return to here, make sure I got that dialogue, which I do not. So let's go ahead and add that in. Oops. There we go. Make sure that zip file. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I got the dialogue on the last one. I think I did, but just to be safe, I did not. Because I was thinking, I was like, I did not click on that line before. Let's go and add that. Sorry about that little detour. Oh, I need the lip file. Alrighty. So one thing I forgot to do in here, we're going to go ahead and link these real quick. But one thing I forgot to do was the conditioning. Because if we started this and we just kept this as is, the player could also say this at any time. We want to make sure that this dialogue only happens during stage 10. So we're going to go ahead and get that get stage condition again. We're going to find our quest. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and have it equal to stage 10. We're going to duplicate it. And we're going to have it that it only happens after stage 0. But it won't happen. It can only happen before stage 20. We're going to press OK. And I'm going to go ahead and save real quick just to be safe. And so now we have our dialogue pieces set up. Now that that's completed, I'm going to go ahead and go to stage 20. I'm going to go ahead and press a new condition. I'm not going to put anything here. Mainly, I'm going to set this as completed. Usually, if you have, well, when you do have a follower and you have their follower quest put together, you'll put that in the next quest. And then we'll go ahead and save. Like I said, that won't be here, so this quest will kind of just go through, and that's where it'll end. But I think that is everything. Let's go ahead and test it in the game real quick. Alrighty, so now that we have all this together, let's go ahead and go into Skyrim. Hopefully my laptop does not freak out on me, because it's very touchy when I record stuff like this and try and play at the same time. But we'll find out. I just realized I didn't enable the mod. So let me go back and do that real quick. Oopsie daisies. Get into Nexus. Which I think you can enable it by just doing that button. However, I always like to go on Nexus just to make sure. And see, it wasn't. What'd I say? Well, now that we got it enabled, now let's go into Skyrim. And I went ahead, I already put her in the Sleeping Giant Inn. That's where I always put all my followers. That's what I did with Fear for the longest time. Fear is not meant to be in the river. She's actually meant to be in a Draugr cave. I think it's Silverdrift Lair, near Windhelm. But I went ahead for the longest time.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin.
But for the longest time, she was actually in Riverwood, just while I was making sure all of her dialogue were working properly.
Even the lowest among us can rise to greatness.
I just find it easier that way. Now, real quick, I'm going to go ahead. We won't be able to...
Ragnar, are you listening?
Where is she? There she is.
Hard
we
not
won't be able to
to.
talk to her now.
The ale is going
This
bad.
is just
We
a
need
little bug with custom followers. We're going to go ahead and save
the new
and load the last game. Now we'll be able to talk to her.
Did you hear me?
And we can see
Yep.
only that first dialogue is happening.
I guess you don't have potatoes in
Oh, what do you wish?
Just make sure we get a fresh
And I'm
batch
going to go and
soon.
say, nothing,
Come
I'm
on
good.
in. Let me know if you need anything.
I
Or take a seat by
forgot
the
her
fire and
her
I'll
line
send
there.
someone
That's
over.
okay though. And see, she's only saying the dialogue that we had whenever we rejected her help.
Oh, you again?
And see, she recognizes. I'm just gonna say, just saying hi. Talk to her again, and you can see it's brought us back to that same dialogue. I'm gonna go and
Oh, you again?
I'm gonna say I do need your help.
Oh, yes. I will follow you then. Tell me when you're ready.
And you can see down there we actually had the little box where I didn't fix the grammar. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what it will look like if we accept her help right away. That was the stage 20 we originally put up
Did you hear me?
on that first thing.
Yep. Ale's
Oh,
going bad.
what do you wish?
I guess you don't have potatoes in
Oh,
yours
yes.
after all.
I will follow you
Make
then.
sure we get a
And you
fresh
can
Tell
see
me
that
when
box
you're
is
ready.
fixed because on that
Come
first
on in.
dialogue we
Let me know
actually
if you need anything.
fixed that.
Or take
Now
a
you can
seat
see
by the
I
fire
can't
and I'll
talk
send
to her
someone
again.
over.
That's because that quest is completed. And, you know, that's where that follower functions would come up. Now, last thing I want to talk about real quick is the animation stuff. And for that, basically, because I had a few people asking about that another time, like I said, this isn't 100% reliable. It's just a way I kind of found with simpler animation styles. I go to the actor, I click on animation tab, make sure we have their full body up, and then you just click on animation. You can see they're playing it. Sometimes these names aren't 100% correct, but if you can find the sort of keywords in there, they'll be pretty easy to find. Mainly I like to go down and try and find. here we go, like idle book, turn page, idle, and sometimes they won't work. See, like they just don't. I don't know why it does that, but you know, sometimes it does. But, you know, you can usually find the animations you'll want to use for your characters here. And that's the best way I find them, at least. I hope this tutorial was a bit helpful. You know, if y'all have any questions, let me know in the comments. Ask me on Discord, ask me on Tumblr. You know, I'm pretty open. And I know my my tutorials are probably a bit all over the place. So, yeah, I hope this helped a bit. If not, let me know. I'll try and figure out a way to be a bit more organized. And I can't wait to see what followers y'all come up with.